Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Brewing Live All New Season, episode number 5 for mental preparedness in the new landscape of living amidst challenges of our present time. Brewing Live is a community service of DCAP Coffee Republic, our coaching hub and home of certified life coaches here in the Philippines. In partnership with Life Coach Philippines, our heart here as game changers is to brew mental fitness in your space as we spice daily conversations with love, hope, joy, and faith. So, shout out to all my fellow game changers serving in this corner of digital space and advancing life coaching ethically and authentically. Giving is a lifestyle that never goes out of style. So, we encourage you to expand your heart today by supporting the works that we do by blessing us with your food and beverage order. We have delicious vegan meals for easy switch to healthy eating, and we also have sausage platter for your favorite and classic comfort food. You may check the Cup Coffee Republic page for the menu of sumptuous meal and refreshing drinks, or connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661 for your orders. We are open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. for dine-in, pick-up, and delivery. You can still avail of the free I Dream Inspired Journal and other freebies from the previous months if you wish to complete your collection of valuable personal development materials from Master Coach A. Again, just connect with Coach Rezzhel. For other ways to support our community works, you may now give us some stars or love gift through fund transfer. Just check the caption of this video for bank info and or our GCash account. If you just joined us in, welcome and thank you for being here. You may circulate this link of the link of this video to invite your friends to watch with you. You may also tag them in the comment below and give them a shout out, especially now that we're how many months already? 15 months over from when we had this pandemic, when we had lockdowns and all these changes in our lives. So maybe someone out there is waiting for you, someone out there is waiting to be reached out. So yeah, tag them down in the comments below. As for me, let me give my shout out to fellow mental model collectors inside Be Learning Society by Master Coach A. Hello, everyone. And to my VIP last month, I give you a shout out. Hello, Fritz. Thank you for joining us last month. If you are not yet a smart holder of Be Learning e-card, do not delay. Connect now with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661 to join the Be Learning Society, the tent maker of Be Learning homes for mental fitness. Enjoy 5% food and beverage discount from Decaf Coffee Republic and get full access to Mental Model Masterclass by Master Coach A happening every third Saturday of the month, plus benefit of free uh, 90-minute coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. This month's Mental Model Masterclass is scheduled on July 17 at 7 p.m. Philippine time, and Master Coach A will teach us the 80-20 Mental Model Mastery. Miss not the opportunity to learn the mental model behind the 80-20 rule and discover how you too can master and apply it in almost every area of your life to accelerate your success. For more information and registration assistance, connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661. Moving on, for today's episode, I will be sharing chemicals and mental health do not mix and match. Please do tag your friends, forward this video link, and invite others to join our conversation on mental preparedness. If you are watching this on a replay, comment #replay and do send us a message if you wish to connect with any points that resonates with you. You may find the YouTube link where you can watch the replay of all episodes of Brewing Live in the caption of this video. Please do follow and subscribe to the channel so you will be notified when new learning videos becomes available. So hello everyone, come on now, sit, bring your food with you if you have coffees. That's why this is called the Brewing Live. So if you have coffee, get your coffee now and settle down. Let's learn together. So I ask you to actually, share your thoughts in the comments down below and catch whatever resonates with you and share it in your timeline, in your FB page, in your FB group with a hashtag Pack My Bag Moment and hashtag GCash Brewing Live so that we can find you in this vast digital space. So yes, are you excited for our topic today? What are your thoughts on our topic today? So the topic is chemicals and mental health. So what kind of chemicals are you thinking of about now? So let's start with the game. So let's see if you still remember some things that you've learned in school or maybe you've read somewhere. So let's start with roll call of a few chemical compounds that we see around us. So number one is, tell me in the chat box, let me see, chat box below, what is the chemical formula of table salt, of your ordinary table salt? Of course, you know that there is a proper way to write it, but you just write it there. So what's the chemical formula of table salt? So ayan, nagbigay na ng hormone. Yun daw yung naisip ni Coach Candy if sa chemicals. Ayan, si Coach Lynn, NaCl, tama, NaCl. Thank you for that, Coach Lynn. How about rust? Yung rust na makikita mo dyan sa somewhere. Outside. So, pag may iniwan kang, may iniwan ka sa labas na metal, so pag nag-rust siya, ano yung formula ng rust? Ayan, scholar daw. Hello, everyone. Hello, Coach Lynn, Coach Candy, and Coach Rezzhel. Coach Tin. Ayan, si Coach Lynn. Memorize Fe2O3. Tama po yun. So, may dalawa yung Fe. So, pwedeng Fe, iron yon. So, ibig sabihin, pag may rust, kailangan may iron. And then, may oxidation kasi may oxygen sa air. Kaya siya nagkakaroon ng reaction, tapos magiging rust na siya. So yan, how about water? Sana makasagot lahat sa water. What's the chemical formula of water? So pinakamadali yun, no? Ayan, kaya-kaya niyo yan. So yan, so yung water, what's the chemical formula of water? How about brine? What's the chemical formula of brine? So, di ba naalala nyo in our chemistry classes, may mga isa-solve ka tapos nakasulat dun brine. So, kailangan alam mo kung ano yung chemical formula ng brine. Ayan, sabi ni Coach Lynn, sa water daw, isang hydrogen tapos dalawang oxygen. Great, tama po. Sure si Coach Candy. Yan. Thank you, Coach Candy. So, yung brine, gano'n din, NaCl, tapos may water siya. Nasaan si Coach Glacy? Ayun, actually sa salt, may mga complicated pa yan, like Rochelle salt. Tapos yung ginagamit sa paa. So yung, ano bang klaseng salt yun? So, another kind of salt din yun. So yun, Epsom salt. Ayan. So when we were in college and in chemistry, actually, you have to know that. You have to remember those formulas. Kasi sometimes your teacher, your professor will just give you those problems as ang nakalagay dun na isosolve mo, isa ko sa component is Rochelle salt o kaya Epsom salt. So you have to know what the formula of that is. Or sa mga may sasakyan dito, mga coolant. So ano yung usual na coolant and ano yung kanyang chemical formula. So you have to know that. So yun lang. Fun lang. This is really fun. Chemistry is one of my favorite subjects. So this is fun for me. So yeah, I hope you had fun and alam mo yun, nakipaglaro ka sa brain mo na, ay, kailangan mong i-remember yon. You know that one. We remember that, we learned that in school. So yun. So, again, thank you so much. So actually, we started with that because we're going to talk about chemical substances that are available in the world, readily available, like for example for alcohol. These chemicals can actually be good and can actually be used in abusively, and that's why we have addiction to these chemicals. So tell me in the comments kasi naka-phone ako if there's an echo because I have a problem with that sometimes. So yeah, and so we're going to talk today. With that, we're going to talk about alcohol and drugs. So alcohol. So yan, isa pa, alcohol. Ano yung formula ng alcohol? So ang alcohol na yung iniinom that we're taking is that's one kind of ethyl alcohol. So pag sinabing ethyl alcohol, ano yon? Ano yung formula ng ethyl alcohol? So tingnan natin kung sino makakasagot. Hello, Coach Marife. Makaka-relate ka dito, Coach Marife, kasi mga ano-ano din to. Alam mo to, Coach. No echo daw. So ayun. So ano po yung formula ng ng alcohol? So yung alcohol, ethyl alcohol is ano yung formula ng ethyl alcohol? So ang formula ng ethyl alcohol is dalawang carbon, C2H5, tapos nakakabit na OH. Yan. Kaya pwede mo siyang basahin ethanol. Yung all na yun yung OH. So, yan. Ethanol or ethyl alcohol. So, yun yung tinitake natin. That is C2H5OH. So, yun. So, let's start with actually with alcohol. So, what is ano yung component or ano yung nagagawa ng alcohol sa brain mo? So, alcohol disrupts your brain's communication system. When you intake alcohol, so depende na yan sa gaano kadami yung tinitake mong alcohol at gaano ka-frequent ka mag-take ng alcohol. So, it disrupts the communication in your brain. So, you know that you have neurons, di ba? Yun yung mga brain cells. Ang tawag doon ay neurons. So, di ba nagkakaroon sila ng communication kaya nagganon dun sa brain mo. May mga synapse na tinatawag. So, if you take in alcohol, it disrupts yung brain communication. Yun nga, yung nangyaring between each brain cells. So, while alcohol can initially make you feel energized, happy, and inhibited, it actually works as a nervous system depressant. Nervous system. Yan. Which you can witness when after a few drinks, you start having trouble coordinating your movements and speaking fluently. So, kaya ka hindi nakakatayo ng maayos kapag you're drunk or you've taken so much na mas sobra dun sa limit na kaya ng body mo. So, our body metabolize alcohol and we have different, way and bilis in speed of, metabolizing alcohol. So, yun. Alcohol abuse has long-term effects on both your physical and mental health, such as liver damage, cancer, cognitive impairment, memory loss, psychosis, anxiety, and depression. But did you know that if you remember, even in the Bible, alcohol is alcohol was mentioned even in the Bible, right? So also in history, you know that alcohol has been used. So sabi nga dun sa nabasa ko, since the start of history, meron ng alcohol, makakabasa ka na they use alcohol. So what is the function of alcohol actually? So alcohol kills bacteria and preserves food. So yon, especially during those times of our ancestors, wala bang masyadong technology. So they use alcohol to kill bacteria and preserve food. So if wala kang pang ano, pwede mo gamitin yung alcohol. So yon. And culturally, it's usually a center of social life. So you know that as well, di ba? I remember when we were in college and when I was starting in my job, nung bago pa lang ako sa job ko, meron talagang alcohol sa, yun, sa social life, pag lumalabas, pag katapos ng event, dati, pagkatapos ng, usually pag may event kami, yung, alam mo yung, may program event kami sa isang buong araw, so hapon nun ganun, kasali siya na order ng alcohol. So, yun, it features prominently in certain religions. So, yun. So, alam natin yon. So, if you are Catholic, di ba, may ano dun. Pero, sabi nila hindi naman daw yung alcoholic. Biologically, alcohol is a source of energy. And actually, 10% of the enzymes in our liver are devoted to converting alcohol into energy. So, biologically, yung body natin nagpo-produce talaga siya. So, and sabi pa ng isang researcher, alcohol is important economically. So, who are the big brewers in our country? We have, you know all well that we have San Miguel and Asia Brewery. So, meron siya, di ba? Hindi siya nawawala. In all the other countries that I went to, meron silang brewery. So, yan. How about drugs? Ano naman yung nagagawa ng drugs sa utak natin? Pero before that, let's define kung ano yung mga drugs na sinasabi natin dito. So, the drugs that we're talking about here are opiate. So, ano yung opiate? So, pag narinig mo yung opioid or opiate, ano yung difference nila? So, opiate and opioid use is on the rise globally. So, yan. So, yeah, for many different reasons. So, it may come as no surprise that abuse and addiction to such substances have also increased in recent years. I remember 3 years ago, so Coach Nords, you may vouch, you can vouch or you can agree or disagree on that, or tell me what your experience was. So, 3 years ago, there was so much, even in our area here in Trinidad Benguet, tumaas talaga yung drug abuse and drug usage na hindi naman tama. So even teens were they can actually buy it easily. So yun, nag-raise kasi yun ng sobrang stress sa mga magulang. That's why I know that one. So there. So ano ba talaga yung gamit nitong ano ba kasi yung gamit or nitong ng opiates na sinasabi. So actually siya ay isang painkiller. So Coach Marife, they use this in operation, 'di ba? Kasi para ma-relieve yung pain. Ginagamit siyang pain reliever or painkiller. So, yun. So, what are the examples? So, kanina sabi ko, I'm going to differentiate opiates and opioid. So, opiates are called narcotics. So, sa mga nasa police, meron silang narco team, di ba? So, if you are in the narco team, ito yung naka-assign sa'yo. So, these are type of drugs that acts as depressants on the CNS or central nervous system. So opiates come from opium, which can be produced naturally from poppy plants. So if you remember, we have a lot of plantations of poppy plants in a certain country nung pinag-aralan natin to nung history. So yan, isa yan kasi sa dati pa, isa yan sa mga pinoproduce at that are in exchange globally at binibenta globally. So sa economic may effect siya actually. So, how about opioids? So, opioids naman are chemically synthesized opiate like drugs. So, yun yung difference kapag sinabing opiates or opioids. So, here are some examples of opiates and opioids. You're familiar with some, maybe narinig natin sa news. Yan. So, first is morphine. Yeah, may naalala lang ako, there is a song that has may morphine siya na word, kanta ni Pink. So, commercial names is Cadian or Cadian and Avinza. So, next is codeine, hydrocodone or Vicodin, fentanyl. So, ito yung fentanyl naman madalas ko marinig sa news. Oxycodone, ang kanyang commercial name is Oxycontin or Percocet, and heroin. So, I remember there was a party like Colgate event na may mga nag-take ng heroin and yon may nangyari. So, what does these drugs do to your brain actually? So, you know all well that your brain is the most complex of all body organs. So, it regulates and coordinates every single process in your body through a communication system in which neurons, kagaya nabanggit ko kanina, pass messages within, back and forth among different structures within your brain and other parts of your body. So, ang nagagawa ng drugs is they interfere with the way neurons normally send, receive, and process information. Depending on the type of drug, it affects a different part of the brain. So yun. And though you might feel momentary pleasure, the side effects can be permanent. Some of these effects include impaired learning and, again, cognitive function, memory loss, lack of self-control, among others. And marami pa siyang effect. So, how are you relating with this? So, if you have, I don't know kung meron ditong hindi pa nakakatikim ng alcohol. So, yon. So, pag madaming alcohol, meron pala siyang effect. So, the question is, why is it that people get into addiction? So, well, as I've said a while ago, these are actually, these are things or, these are substances na meron naman talaga silang gamit. That's why they exist. Like, alcohol is used as pang-preserve ng food, di ba? To kill bacteria. And also, it can be used socially. Dahil culturally nga, kapag nagkakaroon ng, alam mo yun, ng salo-salo, may alcohol. But how much are you taking? And yung ating drugs, meron naman talaga siyang gamit. That is a painkiller, pain reliever. Diba? So, people with addiction lose control over their actions. They crave and seek out drugs, alcohol, or other substances no matter what the cost. Even at the risk of damaging friendships, hurting family, or losing job. And you ask, bakit? Diba? I remember one mom was crying in front of her son. Sabi niya, I did a lot of things for you. I did this for you. I'm begging you, stop this. Don't be addicted to this. The son cried, but then he did not stop. So why? So yun yung mga tanong natin, di ba? So kung may sagot kayo, sagot lang kayo. What is it about addiction that makes people behave in such a destructive way? And why is it so hard to quit addiction? To quit, substance addiction, to quit alcohol addiction? So they've shown that the addiction is a long-lasting and complex brain disease. But some scientists would actually argue na hindi siya disease. Kasi kapag, sabi niya, kapag disease kasi, yung tao, hindi na siya mag-a-act. Parang wala siyang sasabihin ng tao na, it's a disease, you have to treat me. Ang sinasabi nitong isang scientist na nagsasabi na hindi siya disease is yung addiction hindi siya disease is because the person who has that addiction should do something first sa kanya manggagaling yung action para ma-heal siya sa kanyang addiction. So yun naman yung sinasabi niya, kaya daw hindi siya disease. So yun. How about you? What is your idea about that? What can you say about that? For those who, even those who have successfully quit, meron at merong chance to actually have a relapse or bumalik sila at maging to take that addictive substance again. So the biological basis of addiction helps to explain why people need much more than good intentions or willpower to break their addictions. Because you will hear people that madali lang naman yan, bakit ka nagaganyan? Especially nung nagkaroon ng, yung nag-start ng yung program ng bagong administration, the incumbent administration na huliin yung mga nagda-drugs. I hear a lot of people say, bakit kasi nagda-drugs ka? Dapat you just stop. Ganon. So, ito yung mga common misconception na ang addiction is a choice or moral problem. So, hindi sila masyadong nilid ng parents nila, mga ganon, mga pasaway sila, mga ganon. And all of you, and all you have to do is stop. Stop mo lang, huwag ka nang gumamit, ganon. Ganon yung sinasabi ng tao. But nothing could be further from the truth. So, this is according to George Koob, siya ay director ng NIH sa Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism Department. So, NIH is National Institute of Health sa US. So the brain actually changes with addiction, and it takes a good deal of work to get it back to its normal state. And the more drugs or alcohol you've taken, the more disruptive it is to the brain. That is why, if you remember my title, chemicals and mental health do not mix and match. So again, let me read that. The brain actually changes with addiction, and it takes a good deal of work to get it back to its normal state. So, pwede namang mag-heal. Pero depende pa rin yun sa gaano mo katagal ginamit yung substance and gaano mo kadami siyang tinitik, like per day. So, yon. The more drugs or alcohol you have taken, the more disruptive it is to the brain at napakahirap siyang ibalik. Pero pwede siyang ibalik. So, researchers have found that much of addiction's power lies in the ability to hijack and even destroy key brain regions that are meant to help us survive. So kung makikita mo dito sa susunod kong sasabihin, actually yung brain mo, kaya niyang mag-function na siya lang. Let's look at the healthy brain. So ito yung healthy brain. Healthy brain rewards healthy behaviors. So ano yung mga healthy behaviors? If you exercise, if you eat, if you bond with your loved ones, di ba sabi nga nila kapag you hug someone, tumataas yung dopamine. So yung mga binagbabanggit kanina ni Coach Candy. It does this by switching on brain circuits that make you feel wonderful, which then motivates you to repeat those behaviors. So in contrast, on the other hand, when you are in danger, a healthy brain pushes your body to react quickly with fear or alarm. So you'll get out of harm's way. So naalala mo, di ba kapag if you touch something hot, hindi mo na kailangang isipin na ang tagal mong nakaano dun, di ba, nakadaw-daw dun sa hot na, mainit ba? Hindi. Your brain pushes your body to actually act. Di ba pag ganun mo, tinatanggal mo agad yung daliri mo kasi mainit. It's harmful. It's hurting you. So yun yung healthy brain. If you're tempted by something questionable, like for example, if gusto mong kumain ng ice cream, gusto mong kumain ng chocolate, yung hindi healthy na chocolate, yung mga white chocolate na maraming sugar, gusto mo ulit mag-milk tea before dinner or before sleeping time, actually, the front regions of your brain can help you decide if the consequences are worth the actions. You see that? That is the function of a healthy brain. That is how the healthy brain function. And a healthy brain can do that. So, but when you're becoming addicted to a substance, ito naman, that normal hardwiring of your brain can begin to work against you. Alam mo yun, kaya mo naman pala kaya mong hindian. Pero if you are you are beginning to become addicted to some substance like alcohol and drugs, nawawala yun. Mawawala yun. So drugs or alcohol can hijack. Di ba pag sinabing hijack, they take control. Sila na, binigay mo sa kanila yung control of ano yun, yung di ba yung nagko-communicate yung brain mo, you give them the control of how you need to act, your cognitive processing, binigay mo sa kanila. It's your drugs and alcohol hijacks the pleasure reward circuits in your brain and hook you into wanting more and more. So, yun pala yung nangyayari kapag nagkakaroon ng addiction. So, addiction can also send your emotional danger sensing circuits into overdrive. Yung gusto mong, alam mo yung overdrive, gusto mong madami, sobrang dami, at gusto mong sobra-sobra. And this makes you feel anxious and stressed when you're not using the drugs or alcohol. So I don't know if you've lived with people who have addiction to substances na nagiging anxious or alam mo stress sila kapag hindi sila nakakapag-take ng mga addictive substances na yun where they are addicted. So at this stage, people often use drugs or alcohol to keep from feeling bad rather than for their pleasurable effects. So nakita niyo yun, first, you actually take those kasi pleasurable siya. Maganda yung feeling. Like for alcohol, nagkakaroon ka ng energy. So sa drugs naman, yung mga ginagamit siya as painkiller. So, yun yung pleasure mo. You're seeking for pleasure. Pero if you're addicted to it, naging, alam mo yun, dependent ka na dun sa substance, then, nag-iiba na siya. Nagiging ano na siya dahil nararamdaman ko to, dahil na-stress ako at naging anxious ako, I want to take that para hindi ako ma-anxious and ma-stress. So, yun yung nangyayari if we do a lot of that. If we take a lot of these chemical substances. And to add to that, repeated use of drugs can damage the essential decision-making center of the front of the brain, yung mga frontal lobe natin. So this area known as the prefrontal cortex is the very region that should help you recognize the harms of using addictive substance. Yun na nga yung nagdedesisyon na titik ko ba to, hindi, titik ko ba to, hindi. Pero dahil addicted ka na dun sa substance and that substance affected your brain, changed your brain, hindi ka na nakakapag decide ng maayos. Your decision making of your healthy brain changes. And yun, nilagay ka na niya nasa pahamak. Instead na tinutulungan ka niya, mas lalo kang napapahamak. And did you know that two ways kasi ito? So pwedeng the person, in relation to mental health, pwedeng the person is not mentally healthy. Pwedeng the person is not mentally fit. Pwedeng the person is having a lot of stress. Pwedeng the person is having anxiety and depression. And they get their hands to these substances in order for them to numb themselves, not to feel anxiety and depression, and not to be stressed. So do you know some people? Magda-double lang ako, pero I know some people who pero actually chemicals din yun so nicotine, so they go and smoke a lot. So I have some Singaporean friends na sobrang toxic daw sa trabaho, sobrang na-stress sila kasi habol ng benta, alam mo yung numbers, so they smoke a lot. And after during that 'di ba, ng yung mga recess or yung mga breaks nila, nag-smoke sila. And after that, paghapon naman, paggabi, pag may dinner, pag may company dinner, maliban sa smoking, merong kasaling alcohol. And again, what is that doing to your brain? So yun nga yung diniscuss natin kanina. So how much of those are you taking? So yun kanina, i-relate natin yan. So actually, according to research, the very reason why people are addicted to this substance, maliban dun sa stress, anxiety, and depression, is because they have fears. And pwede din tong fear na to, yun yung panggalingan ng stress mo, yung anxiety mo, and your depression. So, number one na reason for addiction is fear of emptiness. Like, wow, fear of emptiness. A lot of fear, maybe trauma, and a lot of things that happen in the family. Yun, history ng family, baka may addiction sa family. Those are the risk factor. Those are the things that can affect the person na magiging siyang addict, that she or he can be addicted to those substances. I cannot say that it's harmful kasi nga 'di ba may gamit naman siya na maayos. Pero how much are we using it, and why are we using it? Is it to numb our feelings so that we don't get stressed, so that we forget our problems? Things like that. Because I talk to a lot of people and hindi na nga nila alam eh. They just take it. Nakasanayan lang nila na everyday kailangan kong uminom. Pero at first naging siyang gusto lang inumb yung sarili nila dahil may malaki silang problema. They're so stressed. They feel depressed and they feel anxious. They have anxiety. So they go to these substances. And actually, pwede din siyang baliktad. Pwede din na you started it na fun lang. You started taking alcohol na, alam mo yun, para lang makisama sa mga kasama mo. And again, to dabbling, if you ask people, and kahit ako, pag umiinom ako ng alcohol, ang pait kaya. Di ba? Pero bakit mo siya iniinom, di ba? And yung mga people who have addiction, hindi rin naman sila natutuwa, hindi sila ginustong maging addict. And dito ko siya nakikita kung paano nagagamit yung life coaching. Because again, we have said that why are people going into addiction? Because they want to escape reality. They don't want to face what they have now. They want to escape reality. That's why they take these chemical substances so that they feel numb. So that even for a short time, they forget what is it that is bothering them. So yun. Kaya dun ko nakita na papasok yung life coaching. So, for example, for me, hindi naman ako addict sa any of these substances. What I've tried is alcohol. Matagal ako hindi umiinom ng alcohol because I have addressed, kasi sometimes I join the company dinner, something like that, and those events, yung mga dinner nga after events, and drink alcohol because, kailangan mo lang makisama. Kahit, ang pait naman ito. Lalo yung gin, di ba? Ang pait ng gin, pero iniinom mo siya pambihira. Di ba? So, but why are you doing that? Kasi nga, culturally, sabi dun sa history na nabasa ko, culturally, kasama siya sa social life. Pero ako, nung after ng life coaching, na-address ko yung bakit ako nagaganito, bakit I seek attention, bakit ko itong mga ginagawa, kasi nga, dati ayokong ma-ostracize, ayokong ma-abandon. Alam mo yun, ako na lang mag-isa. Kaya, kahit ayoko, sasama na lang ako na mag-iinom na lang ako. 'Di ba? So, yun yung mga, pero yun nga, sabi ko, nung nag-life coaching ako, nung na-coach ako, kasi yung void na hinahanap ko, na nafe-feel nung, alam mo, pakikisama sa kanila, pag-iinom, nawala na siya eh. Na-feel na yung void na yun na hinahanap ko. So, hindi ko na kailangan makisama sa kanila at piliting nilang i-accept kung sino ako. So, I do not say na I completely go away with alcohol. So, ngayon naman may pa-wine-wine. So, yun, di ba? So, according to study, a little bit of wine, like red wine, is good for the heart. So, things like that. Pero actually, hindi, wala na talaga. And when I was creating this talk, nung nag-research ako for this talk, I was actually reflecting. Like, how is this affecting me? Or how do I see this? So, like, yun nga, sa alcohol, how do I see this? So, I congratulate myself na ang tagal ko nang hindi umiinom ng alcohol. Because, like, what's the point of me doing that? So, yun, there are things, the reason why we also go to addiction is because of that. Sabi ko nga kanina, may mga trauma and things that are our fears, yung mga void natin na gusto nating ma-feel, and with these substances, with these chemical substances, we take them because we want to be numb, because we are scared, because hindi tayo courageous to face these things that is stressing us, these things that are causing us, that are causing us anxiety and depression. And again, kanina babalik tayo dun sa sabi ko, pwede rin kasi siyang maging iba. Nag-start ka na fun-fun lang, and then later on, you being addicted to these substances will cause you to have anxiety and depression, will cause you to have stress. Because you know that when you take this, may mga magagawa ka na hindi mo magugustuhan. Pag nawala na yung effect ng drugs, ng alcohol sa body mo, my goodness, bakit ko yung ginawa? So, things like that. So, may stress ka ulit. Tapos babalik ka ulit dun, and it becomes a cycle. Kaya nga nagiging siyang addiction, na hindi na siya pleasure yung ina-address, kundi dahil ayaw mong maka-feel ng mga negative things, itong mga anxiety and depression, ayaw mong maka-feel ng stress, at ayaw mo siyang harapin. Ulit-ulit ka na lang na nagtitake nitong mga chemical substances hanggang sa nagkaroon ka na ng addiction to these substances. So, how are you reflecting on this? And if you are not taking any of this, who of the people in your circle are you wanting to help who are addicted to this? And kung wala talaga, my point here dito sa talk na to is, how are you facing your stresses? How are you facing the anxiety? How are you facing your depression? Because a lot of times, yun nga, nagtatago tayo. We don't want to feel it. People would always, I would say that this is a slim, when you say it's okay not to be okay, how are you going to look at that? It's okay, sa akin kasi it's okay not to be okay, pero mayroon siyang katuloy. Pero wag kang mag-dwell doon. Ano yung next step mo? It's okay not to be okay, because you are human. But wag kang mag-dwell doon. What's your next step? Ano yung pwede mong gawin after that? So yun. And when you are taking this, when you are in addiction, you are giving the power to the substances. Right? Yun. So what I'm saying is, if you're not addicted to the substances, how about food? What are the things that you're addicted in? Sabi nga kanina, according to Gay Hendricks, a test if you're addicted to something is when you don't have it for the whole week, you have the craving. Naki-crave ka at talagang gustong-gusto mo siya. Yon, may craving ka dun sa something na yon. So, that's one, rule of thumb to check if you're addicted to something. If you're addicted to any of these chemical substances, and kung ano man yung addiction na pwedeng meron ka. Because now we're just addressing the addiction to chemical substances. So if you are here and you're not addicted, if you don't have this problem with chemical substances, I want you to still get something. So saan mo naman binigay who are you giving the power to? Maybe someone, a person, maybe a substance, maybe food, maybe things. Who are you giving the power to? The power to decide, the power to, to think straight. Who are you giving that to? So yon. And because you are here, I would like to give you some things to actually that is naman for your brain, for the goodness of your brain. How are you going to stay cool? How are you going to have a healthy and ageless brain? So here are some tips that I got that you can do, and we can do it together if you like. So you can send me a message, we can have a group so that we do this. Number one is exercise regularly. So sabi nga natin kanina, isa siya sa function ng healthy brain. So nire-reward ng healthy brain. So pag na-exercise ka, gusto mo ulit mag-exercise. When I was doing exercise regularly kasi ngayon hindi na. So I need to go back to that. When I was doing that, maganda yung pakiramdam. Parang ang gaan mo. 'Di ba? Parang ang gaan mo, masaya kapag nag-exercise ka. So, yun, you need exercise. It has a lot of benefits. And it appears that these physical activities benefits the brain. That is why I'm urging you, and this is my tip number one, for a healthy brain, an ageless brain, is to exercise regularly. So multiple studies show that people who are physically active are less likely to experience a decline in their mental function and have a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. So to all those coaches and viewers who are here, let's start exercising. Na-excite ako dito kasi sabi niya, they are less likely to experience decline in their mental function. So love natin si brain, so let's exercise regularly. So shout out to all the coaches, my sister coaches. Let's go exercise. So next is get enough sleep. People would say get plenty of sleep, but I would say get enough sleep. Kasi may iba-iba tayong sleeping pattern, may iba-iba tayong alam mo yun, length of sleep. So do what works for you. If you want, you work with a sleep doctor to determine kung ano yung nararapat para sa'yo. So because some people, they sleep in the morning, like Master Coach is, she sleeps in the morning. Maybe you sleep at night. So ako naman, night talaga ako natutulog. So yon. There are certain benefits that you get when you have enough sleep. And of course, rejuvenation. So si brain nare-rejuvenate siya kapag natutulog ka ng maayos. Hindi siya mahaba, kundi maayos na tulog. So, sleep plays an important role in your brain health and even in your bodily health. So there are some theories actually that says that sleep helps clear abnormal proteins in your brain and consolidates memories. So para hindi natin makalimutan yung mga bagay-bagay. So this boosts overall memory and brain health. So that's number 2. Get enough sleep. Good. Get enough good sleep. And number 3 is your diet. Watch your diet. Actually, ang sinuggest nila according to Mayo Clinic. So, ang sinuggest nila is Mediterranean diet. So, ang Mediterranean diet kasi is a lot of vegetables and protein, ang Mediterranean diet. So, check what works for you, what's good for the brain. So akin naman with the diet is, I use BCO, although not all the time, especially that I'm living with other people and they have different preferences. So, yun naman. Yun yung challenge, di ba? So, I eat walnut. So, yun. So, yung walnut shape ng brain, good for the brain. And of course, food that are high in omega-3 and healthy fats, like avocado is one. So, yan. Extra virgin oil or VCO, virgin coconut oil. So, watch your diet. And number 4, and also, additional dun sa diet, less sodium sana. Less sodium, less salt. Kasi pag marami kang salt, mamamaga yung brain. Ano ba yung English ng mamamaga? So, yung, may inflammation sa brain, which is not good for your brain. So, yun. Less salt. Okay? So, if kaya mo, walang salt. So, yun. So, next, number 4 is stay mentally active. So, in our tribe, Life Coach Philippines, we have a lot of classes by Master Coach A and all the other coaches. We have a lot of classes. We have the mental model classes every third Saturday of the month. Attend those classes. So, yun, para mentally active. And sabi nga, if you don't use it, you lose it. You remember, pwedeng in school, you're so good in math, you're so good in English grammar, you're so good in anything. But if you don't use it, makakalimutan mo siya. Diba? So, parang alam ko yung dati, kayang-kaya kong isolve yung dati, pero nung hindi mo siya ginamit, wala. Diba pag when you are in the manufacturing, hindi ka nga nag-i-English eh. Kasi para-pares lang naman yung ginagawa mo. Routine yung ginagawa mo araw-araw. So, yung ibang part ng brain mo, hindi mo siya nagagamit. So, yun, kailangan mo magamit yung ibang part ng brain mo. So there are other things that you could do for fun. You can do it with others. We have crossword puzzles and we have Sudoku. Si Coach Candy is master ng Sudoku. So yan, you can put together a jigsaw puzzle, play cards. Ang isa sa favorite ko dyan is yung Monopoly and the Uno cards. So yan. So things like that. Stay mentally active. Okay, learn a new language. What else? Learn something. Learn a new skill. So yan. Number 5 is your habitat, your ecology. Find an ecology where you are celebrated, not just tolerated. So, and kasi yung circle na yon, that ecology, that people, your circle are going to help you as well para hindi ka ma-depress. Para ma-manage mo yung depression, para ma-manage yung stress. So, yon. Social interaction helps you ward off, get away from depression and stress, both of which can contribute to memory loss, which is, syempre, para sa brain health natin, di ba? Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na healthy yung brain mo kapag makakalimutin ka. Yan. So, look for opportunities to connect with loved ones. So, in our gratitude, may mga binibigay si Master Coach A na mga gratitude journal. So, dun sa mga gratitude journal, you connect with someone who are you grateful for. So, things like that. So, mag-connect ka sa mga friends, sa mga coaches, and connect to a life coach. So, that coach will really help you. So, yan. Sabi nga sa tribe namin, no to isolation. Kasi if you isolate yourself, especially if you're stressed or you are having anxiety and you're having depression, if you isolate yourself, the more na sarili mo lang kausap mo, wala kang feedback, wala kang labasan, so sasabog ka talaga. And pag nag-isolate ka, ano yung aabutin mo? Madali lang bumili ng alcohol ngayon. Madali, may stock ka ng alcohol. You just take the alcohol. Or if yung drugs, yun nga. So, do not isolate. Seek help. So, yon. And i-add ko dito, of course, seek help. Seek help for anything that you need. Para din yan sa mental health mo. Para din yan sa brain health mo. And the next is hydration. So, actually, nagkaroon si Master Coach A ng hydration challenge. So, hydration, marami yang magagawa, pati sa utak mo, pati sa body mo, pati sa skin mo. So, yun. So, read about that. You can have hydration challenge or alam mo yung hydration, it's so easy and pinaka-accessible siya, alam mo yung, maybe kailangan mong bumili dahil kailangan mo ng filtered, pero murang-mura siya and very accessible siya. So, yon. So, those are my tips dahil nandito ka, and if you don't have issues with those chemical substances, I hope you take something from the 5 tips, especially with the exercise. I know a lot of you are not doing the exercise. Kudos to Congratulations to Coach Marife doing the exercise. So, yan. Sundan natin si Coach Marife who is doing that exercise. If you're doing the exercise as well, put it there in the chat box so that we can have an inspiration na, ay nako, kailangan na nating mag-exercise. So, what I can say to you now, be free from addiction, whatever kind of addiction is that. Get control of your life. If you have given the baton to someone else, to a substance, to food, or to anything other than you giving the baton to someone else, you can thrive. You can be a better person. What do you want? What do you want for yourself? Because even for those people who are really um, who are addicted and relapsing, they would always find themselves saying that I don't want this. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to the people that I love? So manggagaling pa rin kasi sa'yo, it is your decision. So take that back, take the power back, take the baton back. Sa'yo yan. Ikaw yung magdidesisyon. Take that power back. So, yun. I hope you've learned something from this. So thank you for joining me today and supporting the advancement of mental fitness. So, i-rally natin tong mental fitness na to. Kailangan natin to. Kailangan ng bawat isa. Kailangan ng mga kasama mo sa bahay. Every Saturday at 4 p.m., Decaf Coffee Republic hosts a face-to-face free talk on mental preparedness, and I invite you to attend with fellow mental health advocates. This talk is for you if you care about mental wellness and you desire to protect yourself and your loved ones from mental illness and challenges. So, Coach Candy is actually doing this at the Coffee Republic. If you are interested to become a professional service provider, either as a life coach or mental health coach like us, connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661 to know more about the actively co-create life coach certification program by Master Coach A. Mental health certification and internship program will also be available by August. So inquire now and reserve your slot. Join us back tomorrow, same time, 12 noon, and same digital space for episode number 6, Toxic No More, Shift to Healthy Relationship by Coach Tin De Hoya. Decaf Coffee Republic is located inside Pioneer Center compound, or widely known as PC. We are just across Bayanihan Center in Pioneer Road, corner Brixton and United Streets in Capitolio, Pasig City. This is Coach Cherry Minas, mentally fit to serve in behalf of Life Coach Philippines. This is us in the Philippines. Love, bam, boom. Love, bam, boom. Love, bam, boom. Thank you for joining me. See you again tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.